2, 1, go.
Go, go.
Hello and welcome to another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. Today, guys, we're going for a scary cast with a bit of thunder and lightning in the background. I don't know if you're going to hear it because obviously I don't control the weather, but I kind of enjoy the atmospheric effect. Hopefully it's not too loud or distracting. But we've been doing it and I haven't mentioned it, so there you go. That's what's up. I didn't plan for it, but there you go. It is October, the scariest month of the year. Today we're going to be watching the fourth game from our series that we've been watching tonight. We do have the Cocaster that we're joined by tonight, the Big Q, the Mighty Duck, the Quackinator. Hello, please, leave Duck.
Hello.
Hello.
It's a different map this time. Sure resembles Amazonia, huh?
Oh yeah, it's such a spiritual successor to that map. Just every way.
I think it's different in every possible way.
No, the spawns are in a similar position, right? And look, the middle of the map is similar. You have a tavern in the middle, water's in the middle. I mean, there are some similarities here.
There definitely are. That's a great point.
Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our players. In the upper left, or the upper right part of the map, we have the light blue spawning in. His name is going to be, please leave Duck. He is also the Cocaster, so if you didn't make the connection, I pointed out for you. The map is going to be Last Refuge 1.3, and in the lower or left part of the map, we have Zhehanzhong, which I can't actually pronounce his name. He is Moon, the 5th race, who is now retired. Going for the Warden again.
Yeah, he definitely probably his favorite hero to use. This map's got a couple good Ancient War spots to creep. You can creep this green really easily, and then creep the Merchant Camp. And then later on, creep this Goblin Lab, which is a really good creep to get.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll say something else too. This is the map where, if you look, it's kind of like there's only 2 entries into the base, into your main base, but then there's this weird little ramp right here that you have. So it's actually an interesting thing. If you try to attack this, it's certain points where the elf wants to play really defensive. They can do some kind of cutesy little things where they just kind of run up and have vision over you. And all kinds of fun stuff can happen, and then they can blink down off the little ledge up here. I don't know if we'll see any of that. It's not something you see too often, but it is something that once in a blue moon you do see. So I decided to point it out.
The Ancient War actually stole one of the trappers. I wonder if Moon's a little nervous playing me.
Oh, he could be. Moon, obviously, you know, I mean, he's good, but come on. He's playing the Duckinator. He's playing the 6th Sense.
Yeah, exactly. Little Death Knight running around, little ring around the rosy between the heroes. This game, I waited to use my skill and actually did get Aura this game because exactly this. They'll just get Shadow Strike and chase you down. And if you go Coil first, then you're going to be less than 25% health. And then this is actually a really good play. He brings his Wisp from the high ground and tries to block me.
Ooh.
So had I gone Coil, that might have killed my hero because I would have been a lot lower and I would have been slower.
Oh yeah, Aura is so hard to underappreciate.
Definitely. I mean, the fact that was it like 10% at level 1? That's
10% at level 1 for movement speed, and I want to say 10% also on the HP regeneration. I want to say, or it might not be. It might be a value. I think it's actually probably a value.
Both very good at running away from the Shadow Strike, though.
Absolutely. Also, not only is it the movement speed, but then the regeneration also plays a big role.
Oh, definitely. And then Moon already AOW creeping this 2nd camp, which drops a really good item potentially.
Yes. Let's see what he gets.
Hopefully a Scroll of the Beast if you're the Undead player.
Seriously. Oh.
Ooh.
Wonderful consumable. It's more late game focused. Not going to give him the early pressure that he might want, but
he was hoping for one of the potions of healing or mana for sure.
Mm-hmm. Those are definitely better.
Although, because he got that item, he might be more inclined to go solo Warden. Because if you creep it up to 5 and that's like your only hero to tank, then that 15 seconds is a lot of time.
Is a lot. It's what, two Shadow Strikes? It's not 3. It's getting close to 3 though.
It's a dead lich.
It's a.
that's how I've timed it.
Fair enough. Let's look at your tech.
5 archers. This is really nice, trying to creep one of the camps on my side of the map.
I think he's feeling confident because of that potion, because he knows nothing can go bad right now for him.
Gets that big creep, gets the Sentry. Sentry Wards is a great item. And right there, my router dropped, but I connected back in the game.
Oh, these sheeps, or the pigs rather, didn't do anything, but They look like they could have if they just moved a bit.
Why is there no duck critters? Why are they pigs? Pigs and shit.
That's. We should get on that.
Really?
Map makers. I mean, not me. I would like to see I would love to kill ducks all day long. It'd be wonderful.
And then really good sentry ward placement. He can get the tail end of this merchant camp and then see the gold mine at the same time. And then perfect spot. And then
he gets to see you walking right into that creep too. So he knows exactly where you are.
Luckily for me, he's creeping out this camp, which gives him like a whole level and an amazing item. Health stone. Would definitely rather the mana stone, but still a great item.
I mean, he's going to be very difficult to kill at this point.
Let's see, that's some level 3.5 probably after this, so that's really good for him. I would definitely think you'd want to go for a solo warden after that opening. And then I'm level 3 as well.
In this game, we're seeing you go for the Lich Tech and then Slaughterhouse play. And this game went, I would say, probably worse for you early on than last game did. Although it is a different map, though, so...
Yeah, it was a fine start for me though. There's no like urgency to like make some like sick play to get back in the game. I can just play calm, play my game, and try to just play slow, creep, and then make a big push. And be fine.
Got to surround on the warden. Now we find out, did he save? He did save for the blink. It's good to go ahead and get him to force to use that if he does decide to have solo warden. I think it's a good idea if you can get him to go into blink, because obviously having the double nuke. Pretty powerful. I don't know if you'd have the mana for it with these items, but...
And blink means no fan of knives, which means you can have ghouls anywhere around the ward and not have to worry about spreading them or have that heal scroll or stuff like that.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Working with the blink there, that 50 mana, that's one less shadow strike on my ghouls, gives you a little more freedom.
Also, it kind of scared him, I think, because he got out of there. I don't think it scared him, but, you know. He went back to buy the staff. Although I do like the idea of thinking like Moon just like gets nervous and freaks out, like, oh, you gotta surround, I gotta get out of here and calm my nerves.
Although,
I was gonna
I was about to say it's interesting they got the staff because he doesn't have like any of those big units to staff yet. But saves the archer. Oh, and then
not saving that one.
Creepjack lands me an archer.
I don't know why he aggroed those creeps. I guess he just did it by accident.
Yeah, I think so. And back to your point that I got the Lich Tech then Slaughterhouse. The goal was to maybe get a Creepjack, and if not, just creep up my Lich this game. So play a little more passive than I did in the previous games, because I realized if I had crept more, it probably would have went better. So I played a little aggressive, and I needed to change that up a little bit.
Always good to be constantly changing your strategy, especially if you can make it better. I like how you cancel the Fiend for the Frenzy, opting that. That's probably an important timing if he's gone blink.
Figured it would just die anyway.
Dropping the claws. Nice, nice. Getting them on the Lich. Always a good idea to put your claws and etc. Any kind of attack damage onto the Lich, because gonna get a lot more hits in than the Death Knight usually.
Death Knight's usually one in the back of your army. I don't know whether it's a strength hero. It never fights.
I mean, it's better than it being like an int hero. Can you imagine having like 400 life at level 1? Like 425?
I should pass those gloves of haste eventually to my Lich. Anytime you can increase that attack speed and stack it with claws is really good.
Yes.
Warden comes in here. I might nuke it, I might not.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so I have to save. I'd rather save the ghoul. That's a better play, because I'm trying to bank up and then make a big push. So I want to save every unit I can here.
Not only that, he's still on just Warden, so if he were to get a ghoul kill right now, he's just about to hit tier 3, so he still has the tier 2 bonus XP, so it's definitely a good idea to not let him have any XP more than what he's getting.
He's just now Ancient War creeping this merchant camp, which he tried to do before I creepjacked him, so creepjacking him there really set him back in his creeping. He was sitting in his base with his archers, so that's going pretty well for me. Definitely
nice
a lot
split
better
right here.
game.
Making
Still
sure that the detonate doesn't kill. Oh, it doesn't even get the detonate.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Took a little longer to kill than I wanted though.
These things happen.
Yeah, gotta love the AI. And the Ancient War actually dies. So if I make a push like I did in the previous games, those games he had 1 or 2 Ancient Wars. This game he's not gonna have the Ancient War.
And he just got a Sobi mask.
Great.
So that's gonna make your push really good. No, that item is actually it's good in the long term. It's not that great in the short term.
My Lich just picked up a Wand of the Wind, and versus a Solo Warden, that's probably the best item in the game.
I think we call that the Wand of the Wind.
Yeah.
Hey. He will have some Dryads with Abolish, but he doesn't have that many, actually.
Even that half second of that Warden not being in the fight is just... Because that's his only hero. You lose your hero, you lose all your DPS. Like, look what happens when a Blade Master's out of a fight for Orc. It just goes downhill.
And not only that, if you time that like perfectly when you lose your whole army, you won't get any XP.
Oh, they don't get XP in there? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure about that. Someone's gonna be like, "No, it's only in certain situations." I'm pretty sure it's like in all situations.
All right, so I was at 49 supply and I was creeping, and then all of a sudden I have 3 statues and I buy a Naga and I go right up to 58, potentially 60 supply if I have the money for it.
This is gonna be a strong push.
Yeah, so right now it's
especially because he's gone so bear heavy.
Yeah, because notice how he was banking at 50. That's the problem. You bank at 50, then the undead just does this push and goes to 60 instantly, and then I kill the shop.
Getting the shop out is going to definitely limit that, because he is, again, like we were talking about before, Solo Warden, without the shop, it's so difficult to keep him alive. Here comes
there. Yeah. Wand on the Warden, Destroyers on the Bears, and it's okay to keep your units bunched, because I know for a fact he didn't have time to retrain into the fan.
Oh, those Bears are taking lots of hits.
So this game I target the Bears down so that he can't do the rejuvenation.
And he doesn't have a shop either, so that's gonna hurt him. And that Wand of the Wind is just doing the work on that Warden.
Death Knight's getting low, but I have a greater health pod, Invuln and Heal Scroll on the Lich, so I'm pretty set, and then kill the Warden.
That's a level 5 Warden death. That's not coming back out anytime soon. He doesn't have any Wisp right now anywhere near that tavern either, so if he wants to get that back out, he's gonna probably... He might not have time, because you could kill this army, clean up, and start going for the Moonwells. Yeah, good game. Wow, good job. And that's the last game where Duck wins. Congratulations. That was pretty solid play.
Yeah, that was a lot better. Adapted to what I did wrong in the previous games, and it paid off nicely. A little lucky with the Wand of the Wind, but he did get a greater involved Hellstone and Sobi.
I would say that fight went so overwhelmingly well that I'm not sure that it really was the tipping point.
I will say his Warden had an Invuln pot and a potion he didn't use, but I don't know if it would have mattered too much.
So the other thing is it was in his base, so he could have detonated for those cyclones. So he had options.
That's true.
So I don't know. But that was the games. I will say, if you have any final closing thoughts, feel free to go ahead and espouse them.
Espouse?
Espouse them.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
I thought you were talking to your chat.
Oh, no, but to the chat, if you guys have any questions you would like to ask, like I said, now's probably your best chance. I don't know how much longer we're going to be doing the stream for. Probably not, but just a few more minutes, so.
Oh, it was fun making me relive those Night Elf games. All those Warden killing my units.
Well, I will say this. I absolutely love having you on here. You provided wonderful insight, great commentary, and hopefully that's going to help some people who are struggling with their Undead versus Night Elf matchup, because that was a lot of good knowledge, a lot of good tips. So big thanks for coming on to the cast.
Oh, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Loved it. And it looks like we do have a question from Toked Gamers. I don't know what it's going to be, so it might be like, do you like ham? Because I like ham, but I sometimes think turkey's better. You're like, what?
How do you know there's a question, but you don't know what the question is?
Because he said, yeah, I have a question, but he hasn't asked the question yet.
Fair enough, fair enough.
What were the ping differences in these games between the two players?
It was approximately 80 to 120.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's about what you would expect on the GGC, on the Zotac bots.
It was a US West bot, so it was pretty good. Pretty even, slightly in favor of me. But you saw in like the Amazonia game, he staffed like in half a second, so he was definitely good on ping.
Yeah, it was definitely much better than like ladder.
Oh god, ladder.
Ladder is like, All right, I think that's it then. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will definitely have to say this was a great nightcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the ambiance. The ambiance, which is not, I don't think that's how you say the word at all. I hate when people say it like that, but ambience. The ambience. The ambience, the ambience, whatever. The ambulance, whatever. The point is, the storms seem to have been subsiding a bit. So, final words, closing thoughts from me. Have a great night. Or day, wherever you are, and I'll give the last word to Duck, so feel free to close this out.
Thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned something about Undead vs. Night Elf, and have a good day.
Boom.